Hey everyone and welcome back to Haste Kitchen. Today we're going to be doing my variation of Korean crispy chicken done with a little beautiful sweet and sour style sauce just over the top. Now this is my variation, as I say. Sorry I didn't get a video last week. That's purely because we're still doing loads of building work to the house. So you probably hear lots of banging and noises again today. The dog's barking because the builder's there, and it's just what I have to put up with when I'm trying to film at home at the moment. So please bear with the sounds. Please don't complain about the noise. It's the best I can do, okay? So for this, we're going to be using chicken wings. So I've just got these bits which have just had the wing tips removed, and that's it. I've got some chicken breast over here, and the chicken breast I've just left the skin on because that's going to go beautifully crispy. So first up, you're going to grab yourself a bowl. I'm going to put all my chicken wings in. Like so. Hands are washed. Into that, we're going to go in with a good amount of salt. Now you can leave this overnight for about 24 hours if you like. That's going to draw as much moisture out of that chicken as possible, because essentially once it hits the oil you want to get that crisp factor, like really, really crispy. So I'm going to put some salt on there, and then I want to put a flavour element in there which is slightly different. I'm going to use some garlic powder. So I'm going to use about 2 or 3 good pinches of that over the top, and I'm going to go in with a little bit of chilli powder. It's just a small amount, again maybe a teaspoon. Give that a swirl around. Give that a good mix up, making sure everything gets a little bit of kiss of that flavour. Now, to try and get that lovely sort of soft inside and then crisp outside, you usually use potato starch. Now for this you can use, pretty much most flours will do the job. So I tried this yesterday with a spelt flour and it works perfectly. But I'm going to use some arrowroot powder today. If you can't get that, just use potato starch. You want a good helping in there because that's going to seal it off and keep that really nice and crisp on the outside, but nice and moist on the inside. So you're really adding, I've got about 125 grams there, but it's really adding it until you get the right sort of texture. So you want the chicken to be like that. So every little piece has got a little bit of that coating on there. And once you're happy, all that chicken is nice and dry. So that is how you want it to look. So that's pretty much done. Everything's got a little coating on there. I'm going to put the chicken to one side, and in this pan I've got about 2 inches of melted coconut oil. Into that I'm going to add a little bit of flavouring. So I've got a little bit of warm chilli oil. I've got a little bit of toasted sesame oil. And then finally I've got some garlic infused oil. Just a little splash, and it's just going to give that extra little bit of flavour when you add that chicken. Right, I'm going to start adding my chicken to the oil. So that's crisping off nicely. You're going to grab yourself a second pan. We're going to take about 1 centimetre of grated ginger. You're going to add that to a pan with some sugar. Now I'm using regular sugar here. You can use palm sugar, whichever you want to use. I've got about 4 tablespoons in there. So then I've got 2 tablespoons of rice wine. And I've got a tablespoon of soy sauce. I've got a little pinch of white pepper. Not going to need any salt in there because you've got the soy sauce in there. Then I am going in with 2 cloves of crushed garlic. Now finally I've got 2 tablespoons of gochujang sauce. Now I can't pronounce that, gochujang. Tell me how to pronounce it, comment down below please. I always just say it's chili paste. If you can't get that and you just want to use a normal local store, get yourself some sweet chili sauce and that will do pretty much the same sort of job within reason. So I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of sweet chili sauce. We've got our gochujang, comment below, let me know how to say it. 2 tablespoons of that going in. I'm going to use 2.5, just to give that a good stir through, making sure that gets all sticky and melted. And then into that, I'm going to go into with 1 dried and 1 fresh chilli. Seeds and all, I kind of like it hot. Add that in. Then I'm also going to go in with like 1/2 cup of water. So you're waiting for that sauce to really start thickening up and going really sticky and glazed. A quick check on the chicken. So once you're happy that the chicken is really, really, really crispy, you're actually going to take that out and put it on a baking tray with a little bit of kitchen roll underneath just to catch all that oil. And what we're going to do with that is we're going to leave that for a few moments, about 5 minutes, then we're going to put them back into the oil. It's going to give it that extra crispy skin that you want. So leave the oil going up to temperature. You're going to make sure your sauce is nicely thickened down. So it's been on there about 8 or 9 minutes. You see those bubbles and the sugar start to caramelise down. Now, back into your oil, you're going to reintroduce your chicken. How much that bubbles away. And the second time round, you can see how much darker they go and how much more crispy they go. So our sauce is done and nice and thick. Our chicken is pretty much done. So we're going to just get this out again to drain. So, get onto your draining rack. That's how crispy it should be. So our chicken's all done, our sauce is all done. Let's get on with a little bowl of rice. Just going to put a little bit of rice to the bottom of my box. Like that. I'm going to take our chicken. And we're just going to plonk little bits and pieces just over the top. And then finally, we're just going to go over the top with a little bit of our sauce. Just drizzle that over the top. And then with our spring onions, we're just going to sprinkle just a few of those just over the top. And there we go. That's my super simple, crispy Korean chicken with a beautiful sweet and sour sauce. Excuse my fingers. Incredible. Really crispy, still moist on the inside, and that sauce with that little bit of chili's got that little bit of heat going through there as well. Get recreating this one if you do. Hashtag me at House Kitchen as always, and I'll see you next week. Cheers then, bye bye.